What's happening, y'all? So you see this little image up here? That pornography addiction has become the most searched for addiction recovery term on Google. Well, it's a thing. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because when I started talking about pornography addiction, my pornography addiction, a couple of years ago, 12 years ago, it took a lot of courage to choose to do something like that, because there were probably only 2 other people you could find on the internet who were actually doing this with some expertise. And I had overcome this behavior, and I was ridiculed. You're going to be ridiculed for whatever idea you have. I was ridiculed. I was called a snake oil salesman because I was providing a fake solution for an imaginary problem, right? And I was called this not just by that. I didn't care that just every man was calling me that. It was by therapists and counselors and medical professionals. A lot of shit we have in our inboxes. And then a couple of years later, when more and more research started coming out, it was, well, where's your PhD? What makes you qualified to talk about this? Even though at that point, we'd already worked with hundreds of clients and had a lot of data. At that point, I was not even talking about myself that much anymore, because I had so many clients that were a phenomenal example of our system and freedom from pornography. In fact, by that point, a lot of the coaching we were doing and the methodologies we were doing were groundbreaking. Don't get me wrong, I borrowed from a lot of modalities, specifically rational emotive behavioral therapy. And we were now getting men to control their behavior within like 90 to 120 days. No one else was doing it. People were still are using 12-step methodologies. But it was like, you don't have a PhD. Again, I'm saying this because people are going to say that you don't have what's necessary. Then a few years later, when my social media presence had grown, and it was so abundantly clear from all the testimonials and what people were saying in forums about us, have you seen JK? Have you tried JK? Have you tried the porn reboot method? Have you done all of this stuff? Then at that point, that was where the plagiarism started. That's gonna happen too. You're gonna get ridiculed. You're gonna have people say all sorts of things to you, and then they're gonna copy your shit. And so they stole a lot of our IP, which is okay. You know what they say, right? Was it imitation best form of flattery or something or the other? And now you see people talking about pornography addiction everywhere, right? I'm very glad for that. I'm glad for that because finally we're going to have people free of this behavior. Finally, there are going to be people who perhaps don't really are not a good fit for our program, but they might be a good fit for somebody else's personality and temperament. So whatever the thing is that you want to do, I don't care whether it's in fitness, health, nutrition, business, finance, stop waiting, right? Make it yours. A mentor of mine told me, people don't buy coaching, right? They buy coaches. So if you're out there thinking that there's so many people doing the thing that you're doing, yeah, people can say like, oh, well, I can go work. When someone comes to Elevated Recovery and says, well, you guys are very expensive, I could just go and work with some other person. We're just like, oh, please go. Well, our recommendation is that you go and do that, because you can go there and you can get something that's going to help you with porn addiction recovery, but you're not going to get JK. You're not going to get all the years of his addiction experience and 12 years of helping people end this behavior. Nor are you going to get what makes JK uniquely JK, nor are you going to get what makes Elevated Recovery uniquely Elevated Recovery. So go where you're treated best, right? Go there. Go and do what's necessary for you, okay? That's my message for you, okay? Don't give up. And yeah, gotta plug it, right? If you're struggling with this behavior, now it's all over Google. Now people are searching. There's a lot of people out there who have good intentions, but they don't have the expertise. I stay in my lane. My lane has actually I have 2 lanes now, but it's going in the same direction. One is helping people end this behavior because I am phenomenal at it. I am so good at it. And the other one is if you are a health coach and you are trying to grow your practice, but you're trying to grow it in a don't give a fuck way. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what people say. I did things my way. But you still need to understand the basic concepts of marketing. You need to understand how to build a personal brand. If you don't want to have like a huge following, if you're introverted and you're like, but I still want to build myself a 6 or 7 figure business, how do I do it? I have done it. All right. I've done it twice. It's not easy and I'm not some marketing genius, but I understand human behavior. I understand pricing. I understand being empathetic and compassionate. And if you're a compassionate, empathetic person, do not let my demeanor, sometimes I sound a little rough on the outside. That's just the shell. The shell I built up over the years. But I do love human beings. I do feel perhaps a little bit too much. And if you're one of those sort of people, it becomes very difficult to charge for your services, you know, and to talk about money. And a lot of coaches, consultants out there, you need to fix that mindset. I know it sounds cheesy, fix your money mindset, but I did. I came from nothing. People helped me along the way, but I had to design my life and I had to design my mental frameworks. So if you want to change the way you think, build everything up with a strong foundation, and you actually want to have a thriving coaching or consulting business, especially if you're helping other people, preferably in terms of their health or their mental health, hit me up, okay? And don't give up if they're ridiculing you, all right? Talk to y'all later.